black book ran out of pages. 'Cause if you're gonna take it all, then baby, don't waste it. You only want it if you know you're gonna break it. Just another souvenir for the take, yeah. Just take it. Baby, just take it. You don't have to say those words again. Oh no. And you don't have to. You don't have to go and explain yourself, 'cause I ain't gonna listen. Yeah, all you wanted was a souvenir to remember the fall. To go and tell your friends you were there for it all. A souvenir, just a little postcard for the road. And I just gotta know how to find happiness in the wrong place, 'cause it never ends. It's there in all ways, it's evident. You never change for our sake. Baby, I can't you see we're falling now. Your little black book ran out of pages. 'Cause if you're gonna take it all, then baby, don't waste it. You only want it if you know you're gonna break it. Just another souvenir for the take, yeah. Just take it. Baby, just take it.
I was muted. How's it going, Art? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Actually, yeah, alright, we're good. We good. Just want to make sure all the audio stuff is right. But how's it going, Art? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. I'm happy to be back streaming. We'll see if today is the day. It'd be awesome to get SHAYMIN super quickly. But yeah, so I guess not a whole lot's happened this week for me. Well, I did a few things, but nothing big, nothing like super duper big. Hand is still in the brace, just because I did try taking it out for a little bit, but like, and it was okay. It's okay today in comparison to like how it has been. But what was happening was, you know, I'd like hit it on something, and it'd just be like, you shouldn't have done that. Is it still possible to get the item for SHAYMIN? I don't think there's a legit way to get the item right now. Yeah, it was limited to, like March, I think was the month, like most of March. Hey, what's going on, Cam? Enjoying your day out today from work? Chilling, playing Horizon 1 Frozen Wilds DLC. Nice, awesome. Your Japanese Emerald finally shipped, and now he's gonna get 100% legit software ready to hunt Mew. Yeah, I wanna do a Mew hunt, but trying to get like the event item for it now would be ridiculously hard. Bummer. Yeah, it stinks. I think it's kind of dumb that they've done it this way, where it's like the like timed items for stuff. Like I get that like it's closer to how it used to be, but also like, eh. Hey, what's going on, Ash? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hope all is well for you. There was a groundhog outside today. Sorry, I read like a message in the chat about. I have Discord open on my like tablet now, so I can actually like see stuff in Discord mid-stream, and of course I just started reading messages as they came in. Hey, what's going on, Beck? But yeah, so I saw a groundhog today. I was just like looking out my front door and noticed in like the flower bed next to the front porch, like something that was like the size of a cat almost, but not a cat. It's like, what is this? And like, as I was trying to figure out what it was, a car drove by, it freaked out and ran back under like my porch, and I said to wait. But it came out, and yeah, there's just a groundhog chilling. Just a groundhog chilling, eating a bunch of my grass. It explains the holes in my yard, so like, at least I know what those are now. At this point, I personally don't care about legitimacy for those old events. It's not your fault they aren't accessible. Yeah. In fact, you're going to be using Ace Arbitrary Code Execution to change the Union Cape Lapras and Pokemon Silver to Mew and Shiny Hunts it that way. You can just say some details about the Mew transferred out. Got you. You're doing fine. That's good to hear, Ash. Hey, Colin, if you have a European copy of the game, apparently you can warp to the island with a glitch, but you're lazy, so you're just R4ing for the item. Got you. The hunt can be legit. That's not necessarily like the means of getting to the hunt itself. That's fair. Hey, what's going on, Juan? Welcome to the stream. When do you think you'll continue your Terrakion Shiny Hunt? Because it's been ages since you went back to that. At some point. I don't know when I stopped that. I guess it has been ages, hasn't it? I'm like, I don't know when I last did it, and I think the answer to that is before I moved. I'd like to go back to a lot of the hunts we were doing last summer. I just want to get back into streaming slowly, and then yeah, I'd like to pick up Terrakion because I really do want to finish those wormhole hunts. We're really close to finishing the wormholes, right? Like we have Gen 5 and 6, and then we do have UVs to do as well. I never did the Ultra Beast. Got 2 shinies within 24 hours again. Nice. Rocker pierces a shingling. Nice. Real school. That's awesome. But yeah. So Ash, there are thoughts in my head about going back to that stuff. I just got to get it hooked up and running. Hey, what's going on, Silver Beldum? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Think even on English version of Emerald, you can use Ace to teleport to Muse Island. Beyond you how people figure out this kind of stuff, but the possibilities are actually endless. Yeah. And once the game's dumped to ROM, it becomes fairly, like, not easy, but like, people know what to do once it's at that stage. Right? Like, you get to the stage where you're, like, you get to that stage where you have all the code in front of you or all the data, and it's like, alright, how does the game, like, access this? Because most of the time when you're, like, changing areas or going into a door or something, it goes, oh, this door points to this, like, random room, and so if you can trick it, it'll take you to the other room. It's, like, number one way for doing it. Maybe before you shiny hunt Xerneas and Yveltal and use some, get an SOS something to your belt? Possibly. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I'd love to do some more SOS hunting. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done like every form of hunting because it's really been a while since I've streamed up until last week. So yeah, I want to get back into it. I definitely want to figure out a good plan of action for it. The real question is, when's it going to continue the Manaphy hunt? I legitimately can't right now, and I'm also not motivated to. So the reason why I legitimately can't isn't that I can't do it, it's that I can't stream it right now. Not in full and not in the way I'd want to. So there's an issue with my with my streaming setup for that. Like when I got my new PC, I could never get my DS and my 3DS capture card to work at the same time. And it's just because the software is weird between those versions. Like it was never intended to run. They never intended you to run both at the same time, and so they don't play well together. My old PC, I managed to trick into doing it. Like, I don't know how it worked. I've been trying to figure it out ever since, and I just legit can't. I've legitimately tried to figure this out so long, and I can't figure it out. It's an issue with Katsukity cards, where the software they use can detect if you have two 3DS capture cards hooked up or two DS capture cards hooked up. But having one 3DS cap card and one DS cap card hooked up, they don't work. like they don't recognize that they're both running and both trying to use the same software, so it doesn't work, and it's really annoying. They both say they're the same device using different versions of the driver, so like they're both just telling the computer they're the same device, and it doesn't work. It's really unfortunate and annoying. So yeah, I can't get my DS and my 3DS capture card to work at the same time, so I can't do the Manaphy Hunt right now. And the Manaphy Hunt was not super enjoyable to do on stream, so I haven't been motivated to do it. Not doing the best at your first end-of-year test today, and while it was easy waiting for everyone else to be done, started to get you anxious. Oh man, yeah, like that feeling of did I do something wrong if I'm done this early? Yeah, man, I feel that. Best of luck. I imagine you knocked it out of the park. But yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. The nerves of watching everyone else be in a different situation with it, and you're just like, oh, did I do it right? In GameStop, Pokemon Platinum's $88. That's insane. That is genuinely insane. You should be able to get it complete in box at that price. Hoping Scarlet and Violet, the SOS shiny hunting method, will be back in those games. That'd be cool. I don't mind SOS kind of being a one-time thing. It'd be cool to see something similar to SOS come back, right? Like, I know they did bring back Poker Radar to some extent from like Gen 6 to Gen 7. I know they did. Or not from Gen 6, Poker Radar from Gen 4 to Gen 6. Sorry. You know, it's back to streaming, but I haven't lost the flubbing. But yeah, like, I know they've brought back, like, methods in the past. But I would like to see, I'd be interested in seeing something more along the lines of, like, similar but not quite the same thing, like how DexNav was to Poker Radar. Right? Where, like, DexNav was very, very similar to Poker Radar in, like, keeping a chain, the shaking grass, like, all this stuff. Like, it was all very, very, very similar. But it was different. It was different. I'd like to see that. Like, take advantage of anything new you're doing, while at the same time, yeah, paying homage and kind of keeping the core functionality similar. I think that makes sense. That'd be my hope. Because, yeah, SOS is by far my favorite form of shiny hunting. I love it. Would love to do more of it. I want to do more of it. I just gotta get that system actually set up. It's not on my desk right now. But yeah, I want to do more of that. I want to do some more Let's Go hunting as well. I haven't done that in a while, and I know I have a lot of stuff left with Let's Go hunting. So this is something I want to do for sure. So a lot of things, a lot of things. I'm just focusing on one at a time right now, trying not to overwhelm myself as I get back into it. I think the first thing is to get my stream schedule back to a more normal schedule. They have the old games listed for those prices, but they almost never have them in stock. It's because people, like, the thing is, I say, like, it's insane they shouldn't be that price, but people will buy them immediately at that price, so, like, they can't. Supply and demand. It's the la 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 girl. It is one. It is. It's been a long time, right? Your nearby GameStop has Pearl for 74. Super happy you didn't have to pay high prices to get your platinum. Yeah, that's good. I always get my Pokemon games at conventions. That's just generally been... That's my advice in general, and generally just what I do. Is I get my Pokemon games at conventions usually, because one, you get to usually be like hands-on with it. More so than like purchasing on like eBay or something. You're also somewhere where the people who are selling it know what they're talking about, on like a GameStop potentially, which is going to sell at the highest price they possibly can. You know, like they could have a cartridge that just has like Pokemon Diamond written on it in like, you know, pen on like a white sticker. You know, like they could do that and like be like, oh well, it's Diamond. If we look online, we see that there's a copy of Diamond selling for $90, and that $90 copy is like pristine, complete in box. All the papers are still there, everything. I think that's what caused like the runaway price on Heart Gold Soul Silver for a bit, was just the fact that like GameStop kept putting like just cartridges at the same price point as like complete in box, and then people didn't know the difference and just kept buying, so complete in box could keep being more pricey. I don't necessarily mind, it's made my copy more valuable, but but like I think that's But yeah, so I get my Civic conventions because usually for the same price I can find a better condition or a more complete copy of a game. Not in the market for Gen 4 or 5 games anymore, but Gen 2 and Gen 3 games you'll absolutely be stocking up on. Gen 3 is... really they're all through the roof right now. Everything that's collectible is through the roof right now, but Gen 3 is very highly priced right now. Like, I was kind of blown away when I went to a convention in the fall and like just looked at like the stand I usually buy games from, like the vendor I usually buy games from, had some there, and I remember I bought my copy of Leaf Green for like $25 and was like, oh, this is kind of a lot. Do I get one of the cheaper ones that's like 20? And now like the more damaged ones are like 80. And it's just insane. It's insane. You can buy a second Diamond and Pearl Platinum at your GameStop in store right now if you wanted. Juan, you just seem to live in the land of availability, though. Right, you had all the like game systems and stuff too. I think I saw an OLED Switch on the shelves for the first time like last week. Gonna start collecting Japanese cards because of the price difference. Japanese cartridges are so much cheaper, and those are the ones I'm talking about, the price like tripling. I imagine English cartridges have also tripled, but yeah, I have like I think, I don't know if this is still the case, this is last year again, but like last year, Gen 1 and Gen 2 cartridges, complete in box, like the games complete in box, went for around 150 to 180, depending on the game, right? Like everything Gen 1, Gen 2 was like 150 to 180. So, you know, like Crystal was 180. Kind of thing. In that circumstance, like at that time when those were like 180 bucks, an equivalent complete in box English copy was near 1,000. It's crazy. It's impossible to get the English copies like that. I think some of that is just like the frenzy for collectible things, but I don't know what the price history was because I wasn't looking for English copies when I first started collecting. I thought the Japanese ones would be harder. Hey, what's going on, Twist? Welcome, welcome, never fear, you've appeared. I'm glad. I missed you, buddy. Nah, hope you're doing well today, man. Shiny Hunting methods, Zilby and Scarlet and Violet are random encounter soft reset and Masuda method. Watch them just not have those. Like, for some reason. Somehow they cut out soft resets. Japanese copies of the games aren't super high right now, which is what you're talking about here. Got you. You found a listing on eBay. Japanese copy of all Gen 3 games in a bundle for 100. That's suspicious. Don't need complete in box copies. Okay, with these cards. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I look for complete in box. That might be where my prices vary. Because yeah, in general, I think Gen 1 through 3 games have a bit higher of a price tag on their complete in box, just because the boxes are cardboard until that point. So, like, it was a lot harder to keep like those in good condition. Hey gamers, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. There's Gen 3 games at a retro store for $15 each. Nice. Paid 50 for your Emerald last week, but it was a loose card. Got you. Will I be available around 6:30 p.m. Thursday? Maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time, yeah. It's been a long time. I am here again as well. Only mainline games you needed white and both black and white too. Yeah, what ones do I need? I need Gen 1. I have the loose cartridge for yellow. But I need all of Gen 1. I need, as far as like, thinking about my complete in box Japanese sets, I need all of Gen 1, gold and silver. I have all of Gen 3. I have Pearl. I need Diamond and I need Platinum. Again, this is like complete in box Japanese. And then I need Black and White 2, and then all the 3DS and Switch games. But starting with the 3DS, I have them all. I have all of them in English. So like, I don't know if my collection will extend that far, or if it'll be a while before it goes that far. I am conflicted on that front. I am conflicted with that because we're talking about the prices slowly going up, and that just happens as games get older and the nostalgia kicks back in. So it's one of those things where I'm sitting here going, I don't know if it'd be worth it to get a copy now of like Gen 6 and 7 in Japanese, complete in box, because like, I have them in English, but at the same time, I can see a point down the line where I do want them, and like they're the last piece for my collection or something. And we're like 20 years out, right? Like, or whatever. And maybe I'm still going for it. Who knows? But at that point, the nostalgia would be there for those games, for all the kids who are growing up on them now, and they can afford them, and then those games would be through the roof. And it's like, I could have bought them for like $30 back in the day, and now they're like, you know, $100 or something. I don't know. We want them to be like 2K. That's the thing, right? Like, I don't think they'd hit 2K unless we're talking like somehow inflation being so insane that 2K is equivalent to like $100 now. But yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like, do I pick them up now all together for the cost of like one of them later, or do I like just wait and not worry about it, right? Because maybe I never want them. I don't know. How gun house from the kids are. Yeah, no, me too, man. Me too, Twist. That is exciting. It's exciting to think about like what like next season will be like. For sure. For sure. I think there's a lot of stuff we can do really well. Opportunity cost of not getting them later is larger than getting them. This is true. I think the thing will come down to like if I see them there versus seeing one that I really want now. I don't know, we'll see. There's a con in like a few weeks that I'm going to be going to that should have some of them. Usually the booth I go to is there, but I don't know. We'll see. Trust me, I'm a business major. I guess I have to trust you then, don't I? Have Gen 1 and 2 on your 3DS and silver copy that your sister found for free. Nice. Yeah, I don't have any of the virtual console games. We have until next year for that, right? It's 2023, right? Because like what I've noticed, or what I've thought, and you guys might know this. Yo, we getting raid. Hey, Puffin raid. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I see Esper, Xander, 3D Tyrant, Bella, Pode. What's going on, guys? Welcome, raid hype. Xander, it's been too long. It has, Xander, it has. No, it's been way too long since I streamed. I got back into it last week, and that's been it. Who else? Happy Ambipom, the Herb. Welcome, Pixie, Sylveon. What's going on, everybody? I see a lot of faces, a lot of names I remember. It's good to see everyone. I said it correctly. Did I? Yes! Oh, welcome, everyone. Raid hype. Yam yam. Welcome. Imagine this, the kids born this year, 17 or 30 years later, wanting to play Pokemon Gen 9 back when Pokemon games hit 1K. Or when Pokemon hit 1K. It's kind of weird to think, but it's something I've talked about on the stream a bunch. Like, the perspectives just slowly changes on what are like the classic games. Volcanic Arcanine, welcome. This is people saying Poed, and it hits you up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll call you that now, right? That's what you want? What are the shiny odds in SHAYMIN? 1 in 4,096. Raid hype, let's go! Heck yeah! Hey, Kem, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Puffin raid, heck yes. I got no Mudkip today. Ah, that's sad. Hopefully soon, though. It's gonna be a Monday. It's gonna be a Mudkip Monday. If older Pokemon games are expensive now, streamer we were watching last night talked about how valuable one of those copies of Sword and Shield that comes with the DLC is going to be 10 years from now. I don't know, because like you'll have claimed the DLC, right? Like it won't work Yo, Puffin, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the raid, my friend. I really appreciate it. I heard there was no Mudkip today, but it'll come soon. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Hashtag Puffin raid, good luck. Thank you, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh gosh, what was I saying, guys? I had a thought. I hadn't fully said it yet, so I trust you guys know the whole thing. Before the raid happened, what was I thinking? I had a thought in my head, but it's gone. Are the Sword and Shield DLC worth it? They're my favorite part of Sword and Shield. I don't know if they're worth it if you didn't play through the whole game. If you've already played through all of Sword and Shield, I would say it might be worth it to get it. But I know a lot of people who I can understand didn't enjoy playing through Sword and Shield and didn't finish it and didn't go back to do it for the DLC, and I understand that. Which I guess you don't have to do, but thinking about the inflation of Pokemon? Yes, Pokemon balloons. No. Yes, all the Pokemon balloons. You played through all of it? It might be worth it. If you enjoyed the games, I would absolutely say the DLC is worth it. It's some extra content related to that. I actually haven't even played Isle of Armor. I've only played Crown Tundra in terms of DLC, and I did really enjoy that. That was like, when I got that to try streaming some of the hunts in it, I played it and went, this is what it's like to like enjoy playing a Pokemon game again. So like, they're good. They're good. It adds a lot of things. I think it kind of fleshes out what they wanted the map to be like for Sword and Shield on the whole. It's the best part of Sword and Shield, absolutely. Crown Tundra, definitely. Iron Island, possibly. Probably. You should get them together, so you may as well. It felt like an incomplete game. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people had that thought. I wouldn't say it makes the game feel more complete. I would say it feels like its own little mini game. Like, that's what I would argue. It feels completely, to me at least, it feels completely disconnected from the main games. It is the good part of Sword and Shield. It did give me a shiny Steel in like 5 encounters, which is solid in my opinion. Tune into the stream like halfway into the conversation, so your recollection may be inaccurate. Gotcha. Yeah, so we were talking about Pokemon games. We were talking about like the general inflation of Pokemon games and stuff. I know at some point here it kind of came up like, there are gonna be people who like Scarlet and Violet are their first Pokemon games, and that's like classic Pokemon to them. That's always a weird thought. But like it's something that I've noticed. I've watched it happen over the past 5 years I've been doing this. I think almost 5-ish years that I've been streaming. Like, yeah, it's very much a thing that like I've watched as like, it's only been 5 years, but 5 years in terms of Pokemon's like 2 generations, and we've kind of I've watched that shift happen in the mentality about games over time change, along with just general stream culture, which is always an interesting one. But like, the big thing being, like, the audience, like, I don't think any individual person changes their opinion this much or this quickly about the games. I think most people are fairly locked into their thoughts on what are the best games and stuff. Like, what are the best Pokemon games of all time and stuff like that. I don't foresee that changing. But what happens is the majority of the Pokemon audience, like, is a certain age. Right? Like a certain age, not like born a certain year or something, or a certain age. And right around that, like a bell curve around that. You have some people who have been into it since Gen 1 came out, when they were like 10 when that came out. You have people who just got into it now, like, that all along the spectrum, right? Like, you have all these people along the spectrum of like playing Pokemon and when they were into it and stuff. But I think it's generally a bell curve, I would say, and especially in terms of like the people who play Pokemon and then watch Pokemon content online and like participate in the community. I don't want to ramble about this too long because I know I've rambled like so many times about this, but yeah, like it is genuinely interesting watching the perspective change on it over time. Like the amount of people that get really into it, like and just the general perspective and the amount of people that favor one game over another. I've watched like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum be the peak of Pokemon, then Heart Gold, Soul Silver be the peak of Pokemon, and then Black and White 2 be the peak of Pokemon. And we're getting that start to X and Y being considered like incredibly, incredibly good on being like the peak of Pokemon, and it really is the nostalgia, right? Why isn't my Empoleon shiny? Because this isn't my save that has a shiny Empoleon on it. That is, I believe, my Diamond save on the other Switch? I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've touched BDSP, I couldn't tell you where my, like, shiny starter's at. I Love Armor was like, first fight Condiment Man, then get his Slowpokes, then you find the Adventure Mushrooms. What? Bring the small bear boy to one of the 2 towers to fight people, and then it becomes red or blue depending on which tower. And a little bit better. Got you. I always forget that Isle of Armor exists when looking for shinies to hunt. You meet Peony if you're not champion, he slaps you, and then you do a Dynamax Adventure. Which is, yeah. What's up, real? Dynamax Adventures were the biggest thing in the DLC. I think, hands down, Dynamax Adventures were, like, the biggest part of the DLC, like, from both DLCs. Dynamax Adventures and Crown Tundra were what made me get the DLC, because I wanted to play that on stream with people. So yeah, I think that's definitely, like, the biggest draw of it, but I would say it does have an interesting story. It's more open world than, like, routes, and less open world than the wild area. Like, there's actually some structure to it. I think it works really well in comparison to the rest of Sword and Shield's like movement, while at the same time I do think I got a little lost in it. But no, it's good. It's good. I do like it. Only reason you played Sword and Shield because you're hoping the games were good. Spoiler alert. Nope. When Ian did raid battles, wanted to join just to play with friends. Yeah, and like I think. Like, that's the big draw with the Dynamax Adventures, was, like, having a multiplayer shiny hunting method. It's really great. I wouldn't mind doing a few more of those at some point. I know we kind of stopped those at one point. I forget why. I think it might have just been, like, there was other hunts to do, or I think what it was is not a lot of people tuned in, and not a lot of people did the raids, and so, like, for me, it wasn't as enjoyable just, like, doing raids with AI the whole time. So I think that's why I stopped doing it, but if we had a good group, I wouldn't mind doing it again. This is a sports complaint. Well, get that out of here now. Get that out of here. We only talk motorsports in this show. There's a rule that if the local baseball games get blacked out, that local baseball games get blacked out, so if you're trying to stream the game on your local team, you have to have the cable channel. That's dumb. But that's all about those like streaming rights and stuff. It's frustrating. So then, because you want to watch the hometown team, yet then you can go somewhere else. Yeah. Black of the games to the people who care the most. That's why they do it though, because like a cable network's like, we'll pay you this much money to stream the games, like, and we'll only, like. The money for, like, the broadcasting rights is in the games that, like, most people are gonna want to watch, right? Like, yeah, if you're somewhere that, like, if you're, like, wanting to watch your home team, and, like, you can't, that's the game you're more than likely you're willing to go out and pay an extra fee for. Friends do stream games on, for MLB and NHL. Nice. I pretty much always have some racing stream on in the background. Even if it's pirating, it's like Twitch but baseball. I don't know. I mean, I think it's fair. I think, like, I know, like, my friends and I will, like, stream in Discord various things. Well, usually one of us has it legally. So I don't know the deal with baseball stuff since I don't follow it. You used the Reggie Hunts for the original 3, Regidrago, or Regieleki. I need to do Regieleki I only did Reggie Drago because that's what like stream decided on the day I put up a poll. I want to do the hunt for Eliki at some point. I haven't gone past that though. I caught Drago and I did raids. I haven't actually finished Crown Tundra either. Working on your final project and Adobe Animate is making you want to punch something. You hate this program so much. Things that will happen this year: Mario Maker Monday, Pokemon live stream tournament, and Manaphy Hunt. All things that absolutely will happen. You heard it from Juan. Juan owes everyone $1 if he's wrong about any of those. Adobe products scare you. Same, I just like using the free ones. Can I skip this song? It's a bit much. What do you mean by a bit much? Yeah, Adobe products don't scare me. They just cost a lot of money. They scare my wallet. Can't hear me over the music? I mean, if I need to turn the music down in general, I can, but like... I should be about 10 decibels higher than the music. Adobe Animate sucks. All these songs are iconic in stream now, they're all lovable. Well, okay, here's the... Is my audio level okay though, guys? That's the biggest thing. Good or bad music, I need the music to like, I need to like be audible. Hype song, yeah. I love the song. But again, it's a good song. Can I be heard? Think it's okay? Adobe Animate sucks for one of your projects this semester. You tried to export a video and your character limbs just detached, flew around across the screen. Loud and clear. Not using headphones though. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine until the beat drops and I can't hear you. That's strange. Well, the song's over now, so hopefully it's okay now. Might be your headphones. Maybe. Yeah, like it could be a thing where like your headphones can only handle a certain amount and like the music coming up pulls everything down. I spent so much time before last week's stream getting like audio stuff set right, and then started today making sure all the audio stuff was still good. So we'll see. You should consider the best Pokemon battle in the anime for you to be Pikachu versus Togepi. I think it's the Porygon fight that got banned. Like the fight was intense enough that it got banned from television. Like that's gotta win, right? Hey, Splash, what's going on? So hyped for the future of the anime? Why is that? Like, I guess, like, no reason to not be, but any reason specifically for that? Because I don't follow a lot of the anime news. I'm still on the Indigo League. And have been for 4 or 5 years now. Ashes in the Masters? Like, is it a golfing anime now? Do you think this is Lewis's last year? Do you think he'll retire after this year? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. He basically, like, because his contract's effectively as long as he wants it to be, right? Like, at least as of the start of this year, like when he set up his contract, it's not like he's in a contract until 2024 or something. He's on like yearly contracts that have no pressure and are effectively, hey Lewis, want to come back? Is this enough money? And he says yes, and then he races, right? Like, so it really could be anything. I would be. It's hard to call at this moment if this season's gonna weigh on him a lot, but Mercedes hasn't been doing too hot. He, I think, is genuinely annoyed with some of the, especially very much recent FIA decisions. We'll see what happens in Barcelona with the whole, like, piercing thing. Because, like, the FIA just ruled that, like, certain jewelry is not allowed to be worn. And basically saying, like, only wedding rings are allowed now. But like nothing else is like no piercings or necklaces and stuff, and I feel like a lot of people, especially Lewis, feel like it was targeting Lewis for whatever stupid reason, like that they would target him. So we'll see what like Barcelona's decision is on that, or what they decide before the Barcelona race. I don't know, because he's not in a great car this year. His teammates putting up a bit of a fight with him. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he decided, it's probably time to walk away. But I also know that he's staring down the barrel of setting, like, the final record of the most World Driver Championships. Like, if Mercedes get their stuff together before next year, I don't see why he wouldn't stay to try. If he can start getting podiums and start winning, like, if he can get podiums and start winning this year, I don't see why he wouldn't stay for next year to attempt that thing. Russell's performing a lot better, versus a bit better. I would say Russell is adapted to the car better. I think Lewis, over the years, Lewis is a phenomenal driver. I'm not the biggest fan of him in terms of, like, I root for underdogs, and he's very much not an underdog anymore. I would say Lewis hasn't gotten complacent, but he's very used to driving the best of the best car. So having a car that has issues is not something he's used to, whereas for, like, George is very used to driving the Williams, which is not a great car. So George is more adapted to, like, having a car that doesn't perform well, I think, is one of the biggest things. George also qualifies very well. And when you're in equal cars, qualifying significantly better tends to, like, put you better off in race, even if you don't have as good a race pace. That's just generally how it goes. He's a part of the top 8 trainers. Got you. I was kind of joking about the Masters thing, but okay, so he's like effectively in, like, that top bracket. The character that wins the Masters 8, but Leon better lose, can't stand the character. You always have to have a heel, right? Why did they ban jewelry? They say it's a safety thing. Basically, like, jewelry heats up in, like, fire more and can burn you more easily and stuff, or can get caught on things when trying to extract from a car. Which, like, you can argue that if you also remove wedding rings from the allowed list of jewelry, but they didn't. And, like, Lewis is kind of like, come on, because he is effectively the only, like, driver that has, like, body piercings and stuff. I think he's the only one who would be, like, largely affected by it, right? So that's why people, like, I feel like fairly rightfully kind of call out Lewis for that. Or not call out Lewis, call out the FIA as targeting Lewis on that one. Like, Ricardo has an ear stud, but you can take an ear stud out super easily. I think Lewis is arguing that some of his would more so be a permanent decision to remove it. He's been very coy about what it is, but he has been very insistent that he can't have it removed. Or, like, that it's not something he can have taken out and put back or something. Like, so, again, like, yeah, like an earring or something, you probably, I would imagine especially like earrings and stuff, would be with a helmet on. Would just be one of those discomfort things that you take out if you can. Like I feel like most of these things, it's like the drivers, like if the drivers got what, like decided to get whatever, they're aware of the risks of having it, right? Like I don't see why it's a rule. Like it doesn't ruin the safety for other people. And while I can roll my eyes at some kind of like, well, if it's only a safety thing for me, then why would you care? But like in this situation, I have to imagine the benefits are so negligible that like it should just be their choice. I think that's dumb. Gonna get takeout, but the delivery fee is $18. Oh yeah, go get that food. Even with like ridiculous gas prices, you could drive like so far for free for $18. For less than $18. But yeah, so they did that. They also banned drivers being able to choose what kind of underwear they wore. Weird, because it's like what you wear. It's basically banning what you wear underneath all of the other fireproof layers. And it's like, why? Can't imagine Pearson catching myself, especially when it's already inside your race suit, right? Like it's inside your race suit or inside your helmet or whatever. Like the biggest thing is just like metal items near fire get hot faster. Which, sure, yeah, fine. But they're under the race suit, and again, it's like, that comes down to effectively being something where it's like, I think it's fair to put out some kind of warning and suggestion of, hey, you should do this, but, like, also, it's so inconsequential to the general safety of things, I feel, that, like, it should be a choice. Like, it's not life or death. Right? Like, I seriously doubt, like, an ear piercing or some other, like, any of the things that this actually bans would be life or death, right? Like, it might, worst case scenario, be, like, the end of your career kind of injury. It's not life or death, and it's probably not life debilitating. It might just be you can't participate in the top, like, echelon of motorsports. I think. That's my thoughts on it. It's just in case the fire gets inside. Well, you have so much more serious of issues if fire has somehow gotten inside the race suit, the fire suit, the fire retardant, like, undergarments. Like, they have all of this stuff on for them. It's just, it's dumb to me. There's also so many more concerns in the moment that could arise. Like, I think that like, to me, it's just one of those things where I think it is such this weird, minute thing for them to be focusing on. And for them to introduce mid-season and other problems with it. Being on fire with these things is probably not that much worse than without them. Right? Like it's not one of those things where it's not something like... Because, like, my whole argument of, like, it only affects you is kind of dumb, because I am also very much a proponent of, yeah, it's stupid that Earnhardt didn't wear the Hans device before. And it's a very good thing to regulate and make them wear. Like, if the difference of using a piece of safety equipment or having a safety regulation is, like, serious injury or no injury or, like, life-death kind of thing, like, actually life-saving or prevents severe injuries in their entirety, great. But if it's like, the burn is an inch bigger when it's already covering half of your body, that's already a horrible situation that this rule didn't stop. And didn't make in any practical way better. So I thought, fire inside of the thing that shouldn't burn, a metal stud isn't gonna do much more. Exactly, right? Like, that's the thing here. Like, I think the thought is, so most of these fire suits aren't fireproof, they're fire resistant. They're as fireproof as they can be. They're effectively fireproof for like 12 seconds or something. Is like the number. I think if you want to see an example of like what the difference between like a couple seconds is, which is fair, like a couple seconds is a big deal when it comes to like these kinds of wrecks and stuff. If you haven't seen it, look up Roman Grosjean's 2020 wreck on YouTube. They had changed the rules for the racing suits to be either they went from 10 to 12 seconds or 10 to 20 seconds of fire resistance. And they did it everywhere, and then the drivers protested that they shouldn't do it in the gloves because it made the gloves thicker and harder to use. Because it made it harder to grip the steering wheel, and it effectively made it more unsafe in other places than it made it safe in this one place. The FIA agreed, so they ran with the old gloves and new suits. Roman Grosjean was 100% okay everywhere in his body except for his hands, which were severely burned. So, like, a matter of seconds in these changes in safety do matter. But again, I don't think that this one thing actually helps. I don't think it does. If it's something that's already under all of the safety layers, I don't think it changes all that much. It's kind of weird to me. It was a sticking point all weekend in Miami, and the FIA effectively said, fine, I guess we implemented this rule too quickly for you to do anything about it in Miami. Have an exemption. However, you have to have it done by Barcelona or you're, like, suspended from races. And it's like, you're not going to tell that to Hamilton. There's no way you tell Hamilton, you have this piece of jewelry, you can't race. Nah, there's no way they do that. And I think Hamilton kind of knows that. Gonna watch Turning Red. Got to watch Turning Red last Saturday with your mom and sister. What'd you think of it? Loosely understand, like, necklaces and bracelets with piercings don't make sense. Yeah, right, like, I think even like, necklaces and stuff, yeah, I understand. I think it's still not, like, I can understand being able to stand by that rule and enforce that rule more mid-season. Like, oh yeah, you can't wear those anymore when you're racing, like, sorry. But, like, at the same time, I still don't necessarily get the whole point of it. Given all of the other safety they're winning. If it was something where you showed up and it was just like, yeah, wear like a bike jacket and like a helmet and gloves and you're fine, then I can see them being like, oh, well, yeah, that necklace would be outside the bike jacket, you can't wear that or something, right? But like, it's like any necklaces or bracelets and stuff, which, God, I can't imagine wearing a bracelet in like that tight of a suit. To me, it's weird because like it's already under all the safety gear. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in Barcelona. Because basically they said you have to do it for Miami. Lewis said I literally couldn't comply with this rule by Miami if I wanted to. He basically said I don't want to, but I couldn't I couldn't even if I did want to. And so they said, fine, exemption for this race, but you have to by Barcelona. It's like, if you're already putting in exemptions, is it a real rule? Like, I don't know, it feels like one of those dumb ones. It feels like a dress code thing that's arbitrary and pointless. But other than that, Miami was fun. It was cringy, but fun. I don't know if anyone watches F1 who's in chat at the moment. Take up piercing? Yeah, you have 10 ear piercings. Imagine, like, that's kind of the thing, and I think that's part of, like, the issue here is, like, imagine having to do that every week to 2 weeks, right? Like, taking them out and putting them back in if you wanted them to still be in. Right? Like, nah. You have 30? I've seen all of them. He does. No, but yeah, like, yeah, so that's kind of the whole thing and why I think it's stupid. It's like, it's not like he didn't know the risks getting there. It's not like Hamilton didn't, it's not like any driver wouldn't know the risks. Gonna boot up Pokemon Ultra Sun and find something. The Shiny Hunt, heck yeah. Especially the piercings are still healing, which can be up to a year. Ooh, I can't imagine, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would be extra rough. Shiny Hunt Stuffle. Stuffle's a good one. I love the shiny color. And it's just a cute Pokemon. Bro Cycling is going through a similar situation? Really? I would imagine for, like, cyclers, I guess if we're talking, like, piercings, that little weight doesn't matter too much. But, like, I would imagine in the case of cyclers, does pro cycling have the same kind of minimum weights that F1 does? Like, because for many years, F1 basically just had, like, a maximum weight for the whole car and driver package. So they basically teams would tell the drivers, like starve yourselves, be as light as possible, because like we're using that weight for the any like kilogram of weight you can lose is a kilogram of weight we can put towards the car. So they basically were just told to be as thin as possible, which was horrid for a lot of them. Valtteri Bottas especially, you can tell he's just a larger dude in terms of structure, and it sucked for him. And he looked a lot better once they said the seat plus driver must make up X amount of weight. So like, it made no point for the driver to be less than like a healthy weight. Join me in the Painful or Vesta SOS hunt. It's maddening, I can imagine. These guys being very strict on when they're allowed to throw away trash, the bike has to be a minimum weight. Okay, so the bike has to be a minimum weight, but is it like bike and so bike and race? But yeah, so it's not like an issue. So like I was wondering, like I would imagine in the case, I guess it's not a jewelry thing, but I was gonna say if it was a jewelry thing, like they would want to not wear anything. You hunt Snuffle and then give it away because you don't really like it, but it's probably the second best in Pokemon history. Fair enough. I guess like rider weight isn't gonna like minimum like having like a to say like riders must weigh a certain amount's not gonna matter too much because most of them are fairly athletic and large dudes, especially leg wise. Some cyclists have been DQ'd for giving bottles to small children because they're outside of the littering zone, but that's not litter. That's not litter then. What is this? Oh yeah, sorry guys, I like have to go pay a ticket because I put like my food in my pantry, which is not part of the like litter zone. That's stupid. 3 shiny Nidoran males of a 40 chain, and the first shiny patch gave you a heart attack being in the 2 ring. Oh gosh, I can imagine that. I need to do Poker Radar hunts again. It's been so long. It's been way too long. It's actually a big weight difference across the cycling peloton. I can imagine, like, yeah, if you're gonna have taller and shorter people, and then that's just how it's gonna work out. I'm just typically lighter. Oh yeah, I guess like you have like different like positions effectively in cycling, don't you? You say up to 70 kilos, and I'm just sitting here like, man, I'm 100 kilos. The problems of being tall. Anything that benefits from being light, I'm just at a severe disadvantage in. Sadly for me, that's the kind of activity I kind of like to be involved with. Oh, it's fighting with someone sport that cut weight. Nah, motorsports is a big one, where people will want to save weight. Again, that's why there are like, especially in like F1 now, there are like minimum requirements for the weight of the driver in the seat. But like if I got into karting, I'm just screwed. I'm 6'6" or 198 centimeters tall, and yeah. Along with that, I weigh a good chunk more than most people racing. I'm at an immediate disadvantage because of that kind of thing. You're considered a tall cyclist, you're like 5'11", yeah, I can imagine. 6'6", yee. I'm a tall boy. Cycling, you also want to save weight. Oh yeah, like I know you want to save weight, but I imagine in comparison to like motorsports, cycling has a bit more of a thing where it's like, oh, the cyclist is slightly larger, but it is like, because like they weigh 5 pounds more, but it's just like 5 pounds of pure quad. And it's like, oh, yeah, they make up for that power. They make up for that weight. Like you can make up for the weight with power from that weight in cycling in a way that like motorsports doesn't, right? Like just because I have like, just because like I have strong like legs or something doesn't mean I can just like Fred Flintstone an extra like 2 horsepower out of a cart or something, right? Like, it doesn't work that way. Versus, you know, versus something like cycling or really any kind of like athletic activity where that weight is transferring right back into like a usable force for the sport. Lighter already less power you have to put down to go certain speed. True. Like you don't have to put that power down. I guess yeah, then efficiency becomes the thing, right? Like sure you might have the extra wattage to push yourself cycling, but can you push yourself for as long? It's a very big deal. All of these guys don't have massive legs. That muscle fair. That makes sense. The F1 stones, I like it. 5'2". Yeah, my girlfriend's 5'3". It's a very large height difference. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Track cyclist and a massive. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, when you're doing short distances, but yeah, I can imagine. That makes sense. Now that you said like the whole like just using less energy to go the same speed makes a lot of sense. Road cycles are quite thin. Fair enough. Fair enough. Racing, but all cars are Flintstone powered. You're approaching bikes real fast here, Colin. Don't know what the song is, but you're vibing. The song is great. It's called Glide. It's fantastic. It just goes all over the place with what it's doing, but I'm liking it. I like it. The bikes are too different. It becomes funny because in some routes races being heavier is better. Ah yes, the downhill section is my favorite one biking. So 2 people push a wheelbarrow around the track. You know what I actually kind of unironically want to do is like a lawnmower race. I think that'd be really fun. I think that would actually be a whole lot of fun. Like, it's a thing that people do. I think it would be really cool to do. Can put out a lot more raw power on flat courses. Okay. Yeah, I guess like you're not just climbing and not just trying to keep your rhythm. Because it takes all over you, like all rock and then like J-Rock. I can vibe with most stuff. Usually I care more about like the tempo and whatnot of stuff as opposed to like the actual like I don't know. I feel like my music taste evolved from like setting a Hollywood Undead Pandora station in 9th grade and slowly creating more Pandora stations based off of artists that I found on that throughout high school. Sprinter's way a bit more, because their only job is to put out like 1,000 watts for 10 seconds. Fair. I saw a video one time where like a track cyclist tried to power a toaster, and like mostly did it. That dude's crazy. Yeah, like I was gonna say, like, because I mean the thing is, like, yeah, it's a toaster, but like it's a toaster. Like on one hand, it's like, oh, it's a bummer he couldn't power a household appliance, but like a toaster and really any heating and cooking device are like the most power-consuming devices. He's basically powering like 3 of my computer for like a minute or something. Like he went a long time. I was impressed. I was very impressed by that. I really need to get back into biking. Like, I have my bike sitting here. It's in this room. It's, like, right over there. Last time I got into it. Comparison Bradley Wiggins is a road cyclist. Same amount of power for about an hour. to set the hour record. What? Like, put out the same amount of power over the course of an hour? Or, like, held that kind of, like, wattage? I feel like we're deep diving cycling right now, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Held that wattage. What? Why isn't he powering a toaster the whole time? One time you showed your sister your first half of the Pokemon games, and she said you had so many Pokemon games, and you showed her the other half, and she said, nope, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, I have a display case full of mine, and it's not even all... Excuse me. Hey, welcome back, gamers. It's held 420 to 450 watts for an hour. Dang. That's crazy. That's like genuinely really, really crazy. There's a glitch in Valorant, like 20 minutes ago, where you could throw abilities through a specific part of a wall. They just patched it. They just put a patch on the wall. Did they give any advantage to throwing through the wall, or is it just like a neat little quirky thing? 600, bruh. That's insane. There's a window slightly above it. Oh, so is it like... Oh, so it was pointless because you could already go through the window? It wasn't helpful. Hey, what's going on, Vanillix? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well today. You need to get your bike fixed. Yeah, it's like, mine's in decent condition. I think the problem I ran into is I know what, like, the next big issue on my bike is, and my bike is not meant to be, like, fixed like that. Like, hey, yo, Vanillix, thank you for becoming a member again, man. I appreciate it. No one in the States follows the sport as much as you do. I don't even know how cathartic it is talking about cycling with someone. You got a whole chat to talk to with it. Honestly, I feel like chat's just like going with this, and it's good. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, like, I need to... So, like, my bike is from 1985. So it's an older one. And now, I see you later, gamers. And so I was looking at parts for it. Excuse me. I cut caffeine out this week. It's been rough. But yeah, so like I got my bike. So like I started trying to fix my bike and looking at stuff to get for it. And I was like, all right, well, I want to replace this part because this part's just old and bad. So I'll get like a newer version of this part. Well, if I'm getting a newer version of this part, I may as well like do this other thing with it, which is just going to require like slowly back down the chain of this like stuff. Until I got to a point where my rear gears clunk, like, and the only way to like solve the way to solve is a back pedal like a quarter turn and then keep going and it's fine. But then they'll eventually clunk again. They'll just keep clunking like all the time. It's loud and annoying, and I can feel it through the pedals, which is really annoying. I was like, all right, well, I'll get it fixed because it's just used to replace that cassette. So I was like, all right, I'll get a new cassette. Took the cassette off, bought a new cassette. Doesn't work because for 1 year they used this type of like completely incompatible rear axle design for this very specific type of hub, but then stopped using because they realized it was garbage like 1 year later. Like, oh, that's fun. Got your food, welcome back. Haven't had caffeine in like 4 years. You should just like down 2 monsters and see what happens. No, you shouldn't. I know you shouldn't. Outside of the emergency dose of driving a long distance. My biggest issue is going to be cutting out like some energy drinks because I've grown to very much like the taste, and not having those, it's like, because like if I just want to cut out sugar or something, I could like be like, ah, well I can't have NOS, I'll get Turbo or something, or just like get a sugar-free one. But no, the caffeine is the one thing they don't take out of energy drinks, which is fair. You ordered Chinese instead? That works. Chinese food sounds good. Yeah, no caffeine. Yes, do not have caffeine. Gotta get a tire fix, but it's also been outside for a few months, so you imagine it's a full service now? Probably. Yeah, I need a new rear tire. I've worn that tire out. I haven't worn the front out because stationaries are like that. It's only running the back tire. I probably need a new rear tire. Everything else on it I think is okay at the moment, except for again that clunking rear cassette, but there's nothing I can really do with that. I guess at your parents' house. I guess you know where you can get it. Into coffee addiction. I never got that into coffee. I wouldn't say like I hated it and like never had it, because I definitely had it. But I usually only ever had it when I was in like trips. Like everyone else was having it, and it would be like half coffee, half creamer. So it was like just useless. It was like not coffee at all. It was just like creamer basically. But yeah, I've never been a super big coffee person. I managed to avoid that one. Coffee tastes gross. Don't have a place to put it here, just bolt it to the wall. Or to the ceiling. Yeah, like I just never developed a taste for like coffee. I always developed a taste for the stuff around coffee. You get your coffee black, so it's the flavor swirl. Yeah, I definitely can never do black coffee. It's just not a fan of bitter things. Someone's mowing their yard or something. I don't think you guys can hear it, but every once in a while I hear this just... Well, not every once in a while, I constantly hear it, but it's like every once in a while it gets really loud for a second. It just sounds like a mower. I don't know who'd be mowing though. Thinking where my house is, like there's only like 2 people who would be doing it, and like I know one of them doesn't have a mower that would sound like that. Hey Kooky, what's going on? You made it. Welcome, welcome. How do you track your shiny living decks? Ripped a Google sheet someone put together for the regular decks and made some modifications for shiny decks. I don't. Like for like a global one, I don't have any way of tracking it. For one specifically in games, I just organize my PC to be Pokedex. Okay, Dex do stuff to a certain degree, then you remember that it Dex you as well. Well, not if you said. Well, not if you hadn't said that. No, but no, it's a task. But yeah, I feel that. It's like, I'm just talking with like some random people. It's like them knowing a general location of me is fine, as long as they don't like know my name or something. But then like I'm streaming and I'm just like, let's like, nowhere. No info. Right? Like, obviously you can run into the same kind of thing, but I feel like you're way less likely to have someone like pinpoint you out if like you're just another name in a chat versus like the streamer. Pokemon Home would be the best bet right now if you want to track your living deck, shiny or not. True. I'd have to install Home. You're talking about baseball? Ah, yeah. I got you. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, yeah, there's this, yeah, any of those kind of things where you're talking about, like, a home team, and it's like, how much can I say about this? How much can I say about certain things? Like going to an event or something, right? Like, I've talked about going to cons before and stuff, and I've talked about, or like, and there's just other things I've talked about that I've, like, come up and I've mentioned, and it's like, how can I, like, say that I was at this thing without saying where I am, usually, right? It'd be pretty vague when you say, like, what was next one? You're gonna be in the hometown. Yeah. I appreciate your effort. But yeah, like, that's, I feel that way. Because it's so easy to just, like, slip up in conversation. Mindless or drive a mind. It's all an enigma. How's it going, Mitchie? You mean live in a big city? Very vague. Right? Because there's also a certain amount of, like... There's a certain amount of like... I can say X, because X is super vague. But if I say Y, it suddenly creates this Venn diagram that can, like, narrow you down so quickly, right? Like, you have to be really, like, if you're trying not to say stuff online, you have to be really, really aware of what you've said at what points in time, and, like, what could possibly be extrapolated from, like, that kind of information. It's by the tree. He is mindless, yeah. Move to LA, easy peasy. True. Except no. He is mindless. He somehow got ran over by a go-kart. I did not get run over by a go-kart. I had a go-kart land on me, thank you very much. Two very different things. I feel like in order to be run over by a go-kart, I would have had to have been in front of the go-kart that landed on me. In my triangulation at my front door. You better have brought food. Like, if any of you figure this out and somehow, like, end up somewhere where I am, y'all better have food for me. That's the one requirement. Is if you're gonna find me, bring me food. It magically appeared on my hand. Yeah. Okay, so I guess, like, I don't even want to pull up a picture. I can't even pull up a picture of the track if we're talking about this whole doxing thing. Let's see. Let's see if I can. We're gonna MS Paint this. We're gonna MS Paint this. I'm gonna defend myself here. We still have that up. Where is this? Where's window capture? There we go. I'm so glad that grabbed the right window. Okay, so how can I put this somewhere where it's like, yeah, we're gonna draw this out. Yeah, okay, I'm also drawing with my bad hand because it's the mouse. So this part of the track does. So this part of the track effectively comes down, makes this loop, goes back up and goes out like that, with the inside of the track kind of doing that. This is horribly proportionate, but you guys get it. So what happened is we were coming down here. We're coming down this way. Let me see if I can, like, yeah, we're coming down this way. And I just put this right in front of my face. And basically what happened here is there were 4 of us in a row. I was in the back. The first 2 carts got pushed by the guy in front of me, so they went pretty deep into this corner and had to come out like that. That was so thin. Okay. So yeah, they went pretty deep into this corner and had to, come out like that while me and the guy behind me, or in front of me, did that. And what happened is, like, right here, the guy, 2 cars in front of me was here, and the guy, like, was here, and the guy coming behind was like this. He was on that red line, right? He was trying to, like, come out of the turn. Yeah, he was trying to come out of the turn, and the guy here, who was right in front of me, didn't give him room, hit him into the turn, and he, like, got pushed into the wall. And if I move this more, you guys, I can use my mic. If I move this over here, like, he pushed him like that, and so his cart got crunched into the wall and sprung up, and then I came under, and the cart landed on my head. That's what happened. So, yeah. That's what happened, basically. So the guy in front of me pushed them too deep into the corner, right? Gave them more speed. And, like, they couldn't turn at that point, so they went super deep into the corner. But yeah, that's what happened, and I assumed the guy in front of me was gonna leave, like, half a cart width, because you're supposed, or like a cart width, because you're supposed to, and they left, like, half a cart width. Crunched him on the wall and shot him up. Hey, what's going on, Goldie? Welcome to the stream. Oh, is the music too loud? Multiple people have agreed. I'm turning it down again. Hopefully that's better. You fool, you just reminded people to like, haha! I'm drawing better on presses, so you're gonna unlike this video. Well, thank you guys for getting the stream to 20 likes, even if one unliked, because the drawing's bad. Direction of the go-kart rammed him. No, so I was behind the go-kart, it went up, and I couldn't stop in time, so it came down on me, right? Like, that's what happened. I want you to draw it. That's okay, my weird picture of, like, a stomach was good enough, I hope. Next time I'll get, like, a video capture from my tablet and be, like, all fancy with the, like, with, you know, like, the drawing and stuff. Barely heard the explanation. Oh, I'll redo the explanation then, haha. This is still here. Basically what happened here is that red line is like the line of the cart, the 2 carts in the front of the group, while this like green line is the line of the carts, of me and the cart in front of me. And what ended up happening is at like this turn here, right, like that, the red cart was there, I'm here, and the cart in front of me is here, going like that. And so he crunched this red cart into the wall, and so the red cart went up, and then I came right under that. And so that's what happened. That's what happened, basically. And like, you know, this red line's super deep because like this dude basically pushed him and the other like red cart out here into a corner. But also it's crab rave time, guys. It is crab rave time. Let's see those crabs in chat. Cart rave, yes. What's my dog doing? I don't know. What's your dog doing? I have the drawing still saved if we need it, but yeah. Somehow it out like at the beginning of stream. Started trying to type it up, clicking the text box, and somehow ended up like at the beginning of the stream. That's strange. Yeah, let's see all the crabs. Trying to steal kettle corn. How dare? How dare the cat do that? Crab Rave will summon the shiny. Yes. Have I heard of the coconut crab? I have heard of coconut crabs. I'm gonna do the Shaymin quest in Legends Arceus. Do it. YouTube canceled your channel subscription and rebuy them? That's funky. Wonder why they would do that. Yeah, I think Crabrawler was based off of it. Yeah, Crabrawler was based off the coconut crab. That's why like it falls out of the tree with like the coconut like beans. And yeah, just having the big claws and stuff. Only way got to work is if you buy them through your phone. That's weird. Love Crabrawler. It's cool. I like its gloves. Shiny Shaymin will come at 420. We shall see, Mitchie. We shall see. It's an issue with Google Pay? Huh. Blaze. Yeah. But yeah, so for those who are unaware, I was just describing my karting wreck from not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, that resulted in my hand being in a brace. So that's been fun. I was hopeful that I would be able to like take the brace off this week, because I went in last Monday and they basically said, you know, keep it on for a week or 2 weeks, you know, take it off if you don't need it anymore, kind of thing. Take ibuprofen, all the normal stuff, because basically, fortunately, all of that, nothing is broken. I'll have to post it after stream better. Okay. Let's see, how well does this work? This is gonna go with no context into like general on Discord. No context for anyone else has gone in Discord. The diagram is in Discord. This doesn't need to end my stream? Nah, no one needs to end stream. I was like, I was gonna post it after stream, and then I realized I'm gonna do it right now. You're gonna edit it? How are you gonna edit it? Want to end your stream and get tacos? Oh, supposed to say that. Nah, I'm good. I've had dinner. I'll see. Okay. Give yourself an Adobe license at work. So figure out something. Okay. Yeah, I might need to start messing with Adobe. I think there's some stuff I'll probably have to use it for. It's painful, so I'd like to just use like DaVinci Resolve or something instead, but alas, I think the people I'm helping already have Adobe, so I'm kind of the odd one out and would need to get it, which is painful. Licenses are through AD, so through Active Directory, so you put yourself in a group for it. Clever, Beth. Whatever works though, right? I think you're gonna have to get it too. Yeah, and like that's the thing, right? Like I'm willing to for the situation involved around it, right? Like if they're motivated, I think it's definitely something I'm willing to do, right? Like that amount of money isn't nothing, but it's like not ridiculous for me knowing the skill and also me being able to help them with it too. You're in close to 20 AD groups. I should just make a ton, just to put myself in them and flex. They won't do anything. There'll just be in a ton of them. Want to see if we can get the thingy together? Possibly. Possibly. If that ends up being, like, valid and, like, if that ends up being viable, I'm not quite sure exactly how it would work, but if it ends up being viable, I'm down. End up paying less. I mean, yeah, like, paying less would be great. With Adobe stuff, especially. I don't know, I guess we'll have to see. Because it depends on, like, the requirements and what, like, the limits are. Because I know we were talking about before, it's like being on different systems and stuff either helps or hurts, I forget. You still soon. You probably get your own free then. Oh, you do get your own free twist. Yeah. Just put in your Nick student ID and you can get it. Like, you have it free until you graduate. Do that. Only if you're an arts major? Oh, really? That's weird. It's Earth powered. You got her. Oh, Earth powered you, but you got it. Hey. I think your university gives out licenses. I could have sworn they did, because my dad uses my sister's. And she's business, I think. I think I know my sister. Put yourself into the AD group. Beck put me into the AD group. That'll work, right? Overwatch 2 is like Overwatch on RTX mode. Okay, so how much is actually different in Overwatch 2? Is it, from what I've heard, like the actual like PvP part is nearly identical? Like, are they, like, originally I believe, weren't they supposed to be backwards compatible, but are they, like, not now? If you take one class for your work, you can. What's the cheapest class that I can do online? You can, but it's a very complex process. It's probably still cheaper than paying for Adobe. You're a GIS student, and yeah, you didn't get Adobe licenses for editing and maps. You have to do it in lab. You get license for the mapping stuff at the school. Told us it was crazy expensive. I randomly got an email like at the start of my senior year of college. They're like, "Hey, everyone in like on campus has Adobe now. Like has access to Adobe through their account now." So like, that's cool. So when I made a couple videos when I made like a couple videos before like stopping streaming and stuff back in 2019, they were made with like Premiere. Well, I have that, and then that ran out, and I just went back to using DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use now for everything. Choose less than 1.5K. I should probably just buy Adobe at that point. I think that might be a bit more expensive than Adobe. No. It's exactly the same as the other. Then a few character tweaks. Is it? Because like, I thought it had a few of it. From what I heard, it's 5v5. I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't watched anyone play it because I am not at all that interested in Overwatch. Fun fact: Overwatch is the first game I ever uninstalled because I disliked it so much. I bought Overwatch. Like, I bought a physical copy of Overwatch. Like, I was like, heck yeah, I want Overwatch. That looks like a cool game. I bought it, played like 2 matches, and went, this is stupid and frustrating, and just stopped. And uninstalled it. If you catch Pokemon with an item causing the Pokeball you're throwing, and alert the Pokemon in a massive outbreak again, it might going to throw unless you're gonna throw a switch across the room. What? I'm lost, Kooky. I'm lost. Trophy Garden grass infuriates you? Why is that? I think it ends up being like $100 per credit hour. Assuming you're taking a lot of classes. If you take like one class, you have to pay all of the base tuition and then one class. Like, it's usually not great. You said that weird. Agreed. I'm just very confused. I was trying to follow and couldn't. One class you have to pay outright with no financial aid. Yeah. Yeah, that, and then like, yeah, if you break down your tuition by classes, it's like a lot of the tuition costs are like, there are a lot of like single time costs. Change from school to school. That too. The division between squares is less pronounced, making it harder to see the rings. Really? Is it like actually a different grass there? I've never paid that close attention to the trophy garden. Really glad you don't work in financial aid. Yeah, I kind of never want to have anything to do directly with anyone else's money ever. Like, managing my own money is hard enough. My job doesn't need to be someone else's money. It was one of the most stressful things ever when I was at my last job working on like data that had to go out by a certain date, because if it didn't, like we would miss like legal and financial obligations. Like, what? Why are you giving this to me? I was looking and went full ride where you went, hey, that's awesome. That's terrifying. Right? Like, I'm just staring down the barrel of 30,000 records for, like, customers that need their account switched on at, like, a certain date at a certain time. And, like, if the data's not in by this final date, like, it's over. And I'm just like, what? The more stressful part was the business sent me bad data. Like, they sent me the data, and I'm like, okay, I worked on it, and I got it in, and like, yeah, this isn't right. This looks wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is wrong? No, not the bad data. And it's like, I wouldn't have known. Like, I was like, hey, send me the data, and like, I'll like, you know, I filtered out like horrendously bad records before sending it to them initially for them to look at. Basically what happened is like, they sent me everything. I looked at everything, using their rules, filtered a lot of it out, and then shipped it back and said, here's the data, it's mostly there, it just needs you guys to check over it again and make sure it's all like actually right. And they took it and they gave it to like their multiple divisions, and their divisions looked at all their stuff and they all sent it back, and like half the divisions just didn't look at it. And so when I pushed it all, like, it was bad. That was fun. That was when I started getting migraines again. Genuinely, I think the first migraine I had in years came from that. And then I had a few more after that. I was like, this is no fun. This is not what I want to be doing with my like days and nights. Gotten one migraine from work, and it was when our print servers died, only for Mac users. I see no issue. That's strange. How does a print server only die for like... That's weird. All the execs use Macs in the Windows environment. I know so many IT people who all have like the same problem of like, we run Windows, but my boss wants to run like a Mac for no reason. And it's like, the amount of stuff I've heard about just like security policies, like, shocker, Apple does a lot of stuff that's fantastic with the asterisk stuff only if you're only using Mac hardware. And so it's like, it's a nightmare with that one device. Do you think doing a mentor versus student Olympics would be fun? Will the students and more importantly mentors be down for it? I don't know. I think it needs more elaboration to decide if it would be fun or not. Like, I could see it being cool. I could see it, like... I could see it being fun. I think you would need to figure out the right way to make it, like, evenly split. Because, right, the numbers are very different. But you'd also have to find the right tasks. Like, three-legged race and stuff. Maybe. Again, I think one of the big things there is going to be, like, just the number of mentors versus number of students. Field day type things, yeah. I mean, possibly. Would 100% fistfight your students. throw hands. Mom's an IT people, and yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I'm a developer, so I don't like deal with IT in the same way, but I know the struggles. That's what makes it fun. Like the difference in like numbers. Hey, what's going on, JT? Welcome to the stream. By the end, the same 3 mentors are going to be going against freshers. Ooh, good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Do enough physical activities and we'll all just be dead. Here is one thing though, and here's something I'll point out, Twist. You mentioned middle and elementary school, right? Doing the same thing with high schoolers, they might just have the advantage from the start. They almost certainly just have the advantage from the start. A lot of them. And wear us out more? Good gosh. So much fun is the same two male teachers are forced to pretty much every single event. Gotta look into going back to community college for the fall. Want to get some formal German classes along with the babble you're doing now. Yo, that'd be cool. Yeah, no, I absolutely advocate for, like, taking formal classes for languages you want to learn. It, so much, to me, so much better than self-teaching. Like, self-learning can get you so far, like, it can get you to a solid point, but for most people, it's not going to get you that far. But what self-teaching kind of does do is show you that you are motivated in doing it, and it's worth taking a class for it. Because, yeah, like, that's kind of what I did with Japanese when I learned some of that. It was like, I kind of learned a little bit of my own, you know, the amount that most people would, like, get to and kind of be like, yeah, okay. But, like, I learned that, and then I went and took classes for it, and, like, took it for 2 years? Yeah, 2 years. It was a lot of fun. I took 4 classes. Self-teaching Spanish with most of your family speaks as well. Yeah, that's different. So you limit the number of events students can do. Fair. Possibly. You'd have to find the right balance, but it could be fun. You're visiting them in Mexico soon, and your grandmother said she'll ban English in the house. Speak French. Presented your capstone project and programming class yesterday. How'd that go, man? How'd that go? How's school been in general for you? I know you've been busy with that. This is your last semester of college in September. Yo, you're going to university and your capstone is just a couple of physics simulations. Oh, that's cool. Just making competitive team and fight elementary kids as a gym leader. Yes. I'll be the first gym. That's about the skill level I would put myself at. Let's go by Psyduck. Oh no! That's rude of the Psyduck. Also rude of you for giving Psyduck that extra trauma to carry. What's the latest web dev technology I've learned? Angular. I don't know. Angular is what I use for my job. That's what I know. That's about it there. Victim blaming. You know it. Really, it's just like murderer sympathizing. But yeah, I use Angular for my job as far as web dev stuff, so that's the main thing. Twist, I'm gonna be real, at this point you probably can't get away with it, but if you hadn't ever brought up like the issue of this potentially doxing me, it would have been fine, right? Like no one would have linked it. Learning German on your own is probably a lot easier than Japanese learning on your own, since it's pretty close to English. Yeah. There's some differences there for sure. You need a conversation on your own, but you want to get a proficiency that they live and work in Germany. That's fair, that's true. Yeah, at that point you definitely do want like classes, because you learn things that like there's certain parts of a language that don't come up in casual conversations with people in like in a way that you would self-learn. But you do learn from like, but you would learn from a class, so yeah. Gonna need to have someone proofread your chats. You're good, man, you're good. Me? It's me? What's you? What's you, Kiki? Gonna head out? Alright, see you later, Twist. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate having you here. Talk to you soon, probably. Ah, yes, the Burger King. There's something trying and failing and not trying and failing. One way you at least try, right? Like, one way you can say, hey, I put in the effort. Right? Like, if something's gonna fail if you don't do anything, and you don't do anything, it's like, you could have done something, but like, if you do something, excuse me, and it still fails, like, at least you tried, right? I think I'm gonna wrap up stream here soon. Like I said, my lack of caffeine is kind of catching up with me. So we'll do a few more encounters here, and then we'll probably just wrap up. It's been fun streaming again. I do want to get into a bit more of an actual schedule, get an actual like set time for it and stuff. Because I know like right now I'm kind of in that weird zone at the moment, right? Of like I've been doing it, but I haven't like set a time for it, right? Like that's one of the big things to do is always like make sure you have that time, make sure you have the consistent days, and for me it's like once a week at a random time in the evenings, not exactly consistent. So I do want to get more consistent with it. We shall see. We shall see when that can happen, because like things are still hectic a little bit. Not quite as hectic, and definitely getting to a point where I can more consistently stream, but I do want to like set I want to get some set times again. If people have preferences, now is the time to voice it here, voice it in Discord. As far as like stream consistency, when it should be, I imagine that the people in stream now are going to be biased towards streams that are happening around now, but just in general, like what times, how much a week, stuff like that. I don't know where I'm going to fall on how much I want to stream versus like how much I can handle. Right? Yeah, you're right. Right? Like, well, that's the thing. That's one of those things where it's always. That's one thing that I kind of fell into a rut with in the past as well. Is like I kind of was like always asking people on stream, what should I do? What should I do? And like, oh, what you're doing is great. It's good right now. The content's good, and I'm like, okay. Not really realizing that, yeah. This is the way to like the people who are in stream aren't necessarily like representative of people not in stream, right? But yeah, like generally speaking, this is a good time for me. Just given work and the various things I'm doing at the moment outside of work. We'll see though. We'll see what I end up settling on. It's on a Tuesday or Friday. You'll be around. Not that you should build a schedule around your preferences. I don't want to make sure people who like are watching the streams are able to, right? Like I don't want to just like say screw all of you guys. I'm gonna start streaming like Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and like that's it, nothing else, right? Like obviously people who watch the streams watch it when they can. And the people who are in streams are able to watch now. So realistically, it's falling around a matter of what days do I stream, how much do I stream. You're on break right now from work. Your schedule's all over the place. I feel. But alright guys, I think I'm going to do one more encounter here and then wrap up for the night. I'll probably just end up ending stream. Chat's been kind of quiet. I don't know if we have the energy for a raid, and I also didn't see anyone immediately when I looked that we could raid. So yeah, we'll just wrap up here after this Shaymin, and then we'll be back at it sometime. I don't know if sometime this week or sometime next week. We will figure it out. I'm trying to kind of figure out a bunch of stuff. So, no shiny Shaymin for us today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I forgot this is on the layout. Yep, there we go. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. Sometimes it's better than never. True. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Puffin for the raid and for the super chat. Thank you to Vanillix for becoming a member again. I do appreciate it. That kind of stuff helps out. And yeah. So hope everyone has a good rest of your day, rest of your night, and I will see you all soon.